teaching this morning on breaking repeated negative patterns. I'm going to look at the life and the generation of Abraham, and I'll be looking at some negative patterns that has occurred in their lives. It occurred in the life of Abraham. It occurred in the life of Isaac. It occurred in the life of Jacob, and similarities even to their wives. In the book of Genesis chapter 32 verse 24, the Bible says, and Jacob was left alone, and there was a wrestle. And there he wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. Jacob was determined to break that pattern. Until people pray, patterns don't break. The first kind of negative pattern I saw in the life of Abraham, in the life of Isaac, and also in the life of Jacob was that barrenness was not far from that lineage. Sarah was barren. Rebecca was barren. Rachel was barren. Even Leah at some point was barren. There was a transfer of barrenness from the life of Abraham and Sarah to that of Isaac and Rebecca. Abraham was barren. Sarah was barren. Isaac was barren. Rebecca was barren. Also, Leah was barren and Rachel was barren. The Bible said in verse 4 that then she gave him Bilhah, a maid to wife, and Jacob went into her. You know why? Because Rachel was barren. The circle of barrenness was a characteristics in the lineage of Abraham. Not only that, there was also a repeated pattern of delay to achieve. In the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 5, the Bible said, and Abraham was 100 years old when he gave birth, when his mate already had great-grandchildren. Let's look at Isaac. The Bible said Isaac was 60 when he had his first child. Can you imagine? Other people are achieving at even 22, 23, people already giving birth. At 60, it's just giving birth. Let's see that same pattern with Jacob. Jacob was 84 years old when he gave birth to his own child. I also saw what I call the negative pattern of error and impatience and cutting corners. Sarah said unto Abraham, he said, since the Lord has closed my womb, let me give you my maid to marry. Then he went in unto the maid. Error, impatience. Look at Jacob. Jacob was supposed to marry Rebecca, but first of all married wrongly, married Leah. After many years he has married, then he now married Jacob. He now married Rebecca. Then Rebecca said unto Jacob, please, since the Lord has not given me a child, can you go in unto my maid? The Bible says, and the Lord heard the cry and gave a male son to Rebecca. 1, 2. Then Leah was jealous and said, okay, I have my maid also. Go unto my maid also. Not only did I see a negative pattern of error, I also saw a negative pattern of lies. Isaac lied. Abraham lied. Jacob lied. In the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 9 to 20, Isaac lied. Abraham lied. We also saw Genesis chapter 26, 6 to 12. Also, Jacob lied. Let me quickly look at the life of David, Solomon, and Rehoboam. Solomon. Before Solomon died, the Bible said he married 700 wives and 300 concubines. 1,000 women to one man. How did he survive? No wonder he failed God at the end of his life. In the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 11 verse 23, the Bible said, Rehoboam followed the pattern of Solomon by marrying many wives and concubines, who also turned his heart away from God. 1 Chronicles chapter 11 verse 23. We saw repeated pattern of immorality. And not only the pattern of immorality, we now also saw repeated pattern of turning away from God. And number 3, I saw repeated pattern of people who started well